Welcome back to Chrono Trigger. It's been a while, and I'm 30 now. Ugh.
I'm 27. Eee!
It's been so long, I turned 30. Actually, it's only been a month. My birthday just happened to be in September.
Yeah, like by the time we're recording this, not even 3 days ago, I turned 27.
Well, I've been 30 since the 13th, so.
Yeah. So yeah, you've been like 30 for like 2 weeks.
I know. I don't feel any different, so that's cool by me.
Yeah. Like, the only way I'll feel different is if my body really starts fucking with me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting old now.
Some call me Johnny. He's like 32, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
No, I think he's 31. I think he's a year older than me, so. Anyways, let's see. I'm trying to remember what. Oh, I remember which one we're doing.
Sinkhole?
Sinkhole.
Alright.
You remember a long time ago, we got that seed from the future? And then we gave that seed to Fiona here. And we told her to plant that seed and grow a forest here. Unfortunately, there's monsters in the desert that prevented the forest from growing, so we kind of have to kill these monsters so she can grow her forest.
That makes sense.
This is one of like the 3 times where time travel actually affects the actual overworld.
Well, I mean, there's other ones too, obviously.
I know we've done one, which was we brought Chrono back from the dead.
Brought Chrono back from the dead. Black Omen is everywhere.
Well, Black Omen's everywhere. Yeah, true. Which you'd think Zeal would be like raining death beams on everyone on the planet right now, but
It's all like, they know who rules them. I ain't gotta do shit.
also for some reason this chest was really trying to fuck with me.
Because it's got like all the shifting sand around it, huh?
It's got the sinkhole around it, so every time you get close to it, it pulls you around. So I ran around circles in it like 6 times trying to pick it up.
It's like, oh, you're trying to open this?
And then I come down, it's like, oh, I just want to open the chest.
Want to open this? Too bad you're in this oddly specific spot. You gotta be on an oddly specific.
I also recommend have at least one character on your team that knows water magic, because every enemy under here is weak to water.
So Marl or Frog or both.
Or Magus. Magus doesn't learn water magic.
Well,
it's the only type of magic he doesn't learn.
Well, he has ice, which is technically water. Ice too.
Oh, he does. Oh, that's right. He does have ice too. I thought ice was the only spell he didn't learn.
I think. I know he knows every single one. It's just he's very limited on everything except Shadow.
Yeah, he has lightning 2, fire 2, and ice 2.
But he doesn't get anything higher than any of those, and he doesn't have anything lower than that. But why would you want anything lower than that?
Well, you don't. You fire 2 and ice 2 are the only 2 you need. And I haven't used Marl in a while, so.
Goddamn shifting sand.
Seriously, it's like the hit detection on these. I don't remember it being this bad. There we go.
I think they.
And all that for a lapis.
Yeesh.
I mean, it was worth it. So anyway, basically all you gotta do is just wander around fighting enemies here until you find the real monster. Marl gained a level from that fight.
Nice.
Not that the levels matter by this point. Really, all this is... If you vaguely remember my Bot Kaidos LP, this is basically the ending of that game again. It's like, hey, you can go to the final dungeon, but then there's like a secret there's a special optional dungeon for every character on your team to get their best stuff. That's basically what these are.
Yeah, but it's all spread across all the timelines.
And they really don't take very long. Most of them only take about half hour at most if you know what you're doing.
Nah, maybe not even half an hour. More like maybe like 15 minutes. And that's just all depending on like how many enemies you come across.
I think it also depends on which side quest you're doing, because a couple of them force you to go to like 3 different areas to finish them.
Yeah, and we'll get to the one involving.
I mean, basically the one that gives you Chrono's best weapon takes the longest to do, and that makes sense because you're getting Chrono's best weapon out of it.
And it's too damn good to pass up.
It is the best weapon in the game, unless you're playing the DS version where they somehow give you an even more broken weapon.
Yep. Oddly enough, though, I think it's honestly not even worth the trouble, if I even remember correctly.
By the time you get that, you're going to be level 99 anyway, so unless you're going for the optional super boss, it's not really going to help you much.
That if you're just trying to 100% the game, but even then, it's like, it's really unnecessary. It's appreciated, but it's unnecessary.
Oh, you want Chrono to have be even more broken? Have a 90% critical hit?
Yeah, it's essentially you have a less, like, it'll be a rarity that you don't critical. It's like when that happens, it's a weird thing like that, because you would think with a game when that has like a critical hit rate that, like, whenever you see the critical, you're like, oh, that's nice, but then when Chrono gets that super weapon, then it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, just another critical. Oh,
it's not, but the thing is, that's the only upside that it has. Chrono's ultimate weapon in this game gives him an 80% critical. His ultimate weapon in the DS version ups that by 10%. It's like, that's not a big upgrade. It's pretty much exactly the same.
Think of it this way: 4 out of 5 times. Chrono will
4 out of 5 times you're going to critical, as opposed to 3 out of 6 times.
No.
Is it really that big of a difference?
Well, 3 out of 6, that's technically 50%. So it's like one out of every 2 hits you'll get a critical. But if we're talking about like 80%, that's 4 out of 5 times that you'll get a critical. With 90%, 9 out of 10 times. It's like, oh, like 9 out of 10 doctors recommend this. It's like, that's a pretty damn good recommendation.
The point is, it's not that much different.
You'd be surprised. I honestly just, like, I found myself more surprised that I didn't get critical sometimes when I had that weapon. It's supposed to be the opposite.
The other downside, most of these boss fights are basically palette swaps of bosses we've already fought. Like, hey, it's Zombor again.
Only now with the core.
He's more frustrating because he's not quite the same. Mainly he's
Retinite.
That's why he's gonna keep healing himself.
Yeah, isn't it that, like, I can't really remember off the top of my head. Isn't this that you have to destroy the other points, or do you have to destroy the core in order to be able to?
The core. No, he can actually end up killing the core by himself by draining it too much.
All right.
But much like Zombor, I think what happens is, like, one half is immune to physical and one half is immune to magic. He's completely immune to water, but it lowers his defense. There we go, and you get a speed tap from the core. So basically what you can do, which is I think what I was doing right here, is just...
and you're weakening its defenses with magic, with water magic. And then
you can hit him with physical attacks. But what I like to do is just, like, force him to drain all the... force him to drain all the health out of the core. I honestly can't remember if the top and bottom half of him have items you can steal. I just... out of habit, just charm everything.
Yeah.
But then this is basically all this battle's gonna do. You're just gonna have Frog do all the damage, and occasionally Ayla, if you want to use triple kick, because he's gonna keep doing what original Zombor did, which just steals half your health, and that's ridiculous.
Is it also the same as the original one, where, like, whenever you just finally destroy a piece of him, he'll absorb the MP of whoever killed him?
I think so. It might be the bottom half that does it.
Now I remember both sides doing it.
I honestly can't remember. This is one of the downside is I'm doing probably the most forgettable of the side quests right now.
At the very least, this section of it, because technically, you have to go back into the present time, or 1000 AD, in order to complete the quest, and then you get in, like, this really interesting cutscene, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's kind of combining. It, like, they make it seem like it's for Robo, but I think this is Lucca. This is Lucca's side quest, if I remember correctly.
If anything, it's a little Robo, but it is more focused on Lucca than Robo.
Yeah, but like they kind of combine Robos into Lucca's.
Yeah.
It's more just for character development between the two, but there, now that the core is gone, I don't think he's going to... Yeah, now he's not going to start draining health from himself, but he's going to drain health from you, which is obnoxious.
And before anyone asks, yes, Robo does get his own side quests, and yeah, it does give him a lot more focus than it does in this.
Yeah, which is why it's kind of weird that he and Lucca kind of share a side quest.
Though it does kind of make sense in the long run. Well, I mean,
it does. It does, but it's more. It does, but it's weird because it feels like they couldn't think of anything for Lucca and they just threw Robo in there.
Well, she is the mech, sort of. Mechanic.
Well, she's the mechanic, but she's like the secondary main character of the game next to Chrono.
I feel like she shares it with Marl.
Well, like Chrono, Marl, and Lucca are like the game's main protagonists, and it just seems weird that Lucca, out of everybody, kind of gets shafted in the side quest department. You could say the same for Magus, except for the fact that you can do Magus' side quest even if you don't have him on your team. Because it's technically Frog's side quest too. Wait, no, Frog has his own side quest. What am I talking about?
You see, if this were Pokemon logic, you should have had Chrono in here, and then you could have just doused him with water. Water conducts electricity, and then you just shock them all.
It's fine. I think at this point I was just kind of trying to get everyone all of their max techs, and since Chrono already had his max techs before he died...
He's fine. He doesn't need this.
He's fine. The one that needs it the most is Magus, and I think at this point Magus has all of his techs.
He should. He should have them.
I think. It's been a while since I recorded this. I already have the whole game recorded. We just haven't gotten around to commentating on it.
No, I mean, you went through Death Peak. That didn't really give him much, I think. Probably just one or two extra techs, but I'm pretty sure by the time you finish all these side quests, you're definitely gonna have all of them.
Oh yeah, even if I don't use him, just going through the Black Omen one time is gonna get him all his techs.
So from what I'm watching, but the entirety of this boss is immune to magic, but the magic lowers his physical defense.
Yeah, water lowers his physical defense. We had a boss that did that. We had a similar boss that did that earlier in the game, and it was just as obnoxious. Although for some reason I'm blanking on who that was.
So you just gotta alternate between physical and then water magic, physical, water magic.
Yeah, which is kind of... Oh, yeah. And then apparently his lower half can eat you, too. I don't know why, I don't know how, but he does, and that's making this fight take longer than it's supposed to. He should have been dead by now. Oy. Maybe bringing Ayla in my party was a bad idea. I probably should have had Chrono.
Nah, he's fine. He's got plenty of experience. He's got plenty of tech.
It's not that. It's the fact that this fight is taking longer than it should. Because he keeps healing himself. And I hate when any boss in RPGs heal themselves because it just drags the fight on too much. Because at least if I had Chrono, I'd have Confuse, and I'd be hitting 4 times for like 600 damage.
I mean, I don't even mind if a boss has healing, because it's even better though if there's a way to stop it from healing.
I don't mind if it heals, but when it heals for half of the damage that I just dealt to you, or less in this case. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize that this fight's taking so long. I didn't expect it to take as long as it did.
At least it's not going to be Tales of Symphonia 2 levels of I'm just auto healing because fuck it.
It may as well be the same kind of problem that you guys were talking about with Symphonia 2, because the only reason this fight's taking so long is because this guy can heal for 300 HP every other turn.
It's not really that bad.
When it is when I'm doing 600 and he's healing half the damage I'm dealing.
It doesn't really do it as often as you think.
It's not near. It's not as frequent, no, but it doesn't change. It doesn't make it any less obnoxious.
I still think Symphonia 2 is way worse on it.
There are plenty of other games besides that are worse than this, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still bad. The only reason this fight's taking so long is because he keeps healing himself, and it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't so... now he stopped. I'm wondering if that was a magic spell, and now that he's low on TP, he's not using it anymore?
Maybe.
Or MP, whatever. And it's like... Or maybe I probably should... The other thing, too, is while his defense was down, I also probably should be using triple kick instead of leaf slash, because I think triple kick does more damage.
Well, I mean, it's technically 3 hits in one before he manages to say, okay, nope, defense is back up.
No, his defense goes up every physical attack you land on him.
But it's not like after every consecutive one. I mean, you could still get, the 3 hits in, but his defense will go up until after the attack finishes.
Right. That's why I'm wondering if, Oh, wait, no, I don't think Ayla had triple kick at this point. That's why I'm not using it.
Oh, shit.
That's why she's in my party, because I'm making her learn her final attack, and she doesn't have it yet. If she had triple kick, this fight would have been over by now. Spoiler alert, that's her final attack, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows about that by now.
I thought it was Dino Tail.
No. I'm pretty sure it's triple kick. Besides, Dino Tail is not very helpful. Dino Tail does more damage the less HP Ayla has.
Yeah, it's essentially like Frog Squash, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go. He's finally freaking
Oh, there
dead.
it is.
There. Yes.
Would have been nice.
Now she learns triple kick. Now she learns triple kick.
That would have been nice 15 minutes ago.
God freaking damn it. Had I realized that she was that close, I would have just off-screen grinded 2 more battles and then fought this guy.
I mean, how much tech points did that actually give?
100.
Well, who knows? I mean, depending on the amount of enemies you'd had to kill. I
don't know. The thing is, that boss fight took a lot longer than it should have, and I apologize. And in editing, in hindsight, during editing, I probably should have sped it up. I apologize for that, but I didn't realize exactly how long it was.
It wasn't that long.
It was 12 minutes. That's more than half the video. I should have realized that during editing. I apologize. Oh well. Not like there's much left to this side quest anyway. So anyway, after you finally get rid of all those bastards, you go back to Fiona and tell her that you can, plant the seed now. And it's going to take a long time. Thankfully, we have a time machine.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that also means Fiona's going to be long dead before the forest grows back. Damn, this game Damn. I never realized, even with the really loose translation, how dark this game gets.
Yep.
Ugh. This game's depressing sometimes. Then you go and play Chrono Cross and oh my god, my heart. At least I kind of remember it. I haven't played Chrono Cross in years.
I haven't played it at all.
Don't you have it on your PS3?
Yes, I do.
And it's on your, so
well,
it's
I mean,
in your
I think I played it for 20 minutes, but then I was like, where do I go? Fuck it.
Oh, it was one of those games for you.
Well, at the very least, it wasn't as obvious to me because I don't know, going from a 2D game like Chrono Trigger to a 3D one like Chrono Cross, and I was like, okay, this is a little weird because I wasn't really used to Square Enix RPGs on the PS1.
No, I can understand that. It also came out around the same time as Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, 7 or 8, and it kind of reminded me of more of 7 because with 7, you know how it's supposed to 3D models on a 2D plane or on a 2D background, which technically supposed to be 3D.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think that's what mostly confused me because it's just I can't really tell what's part of the background and what's not.
Anyway, so what we're doing here is Robo volunteers to stay behind to grow the forest. So let's jump ahead 200 years, and well, apparently he did a good fucking job.
Yeah. Good job, Robo. You did good.
So we come here, and now we have Fiona's shrine. This used to be just a regular church, but now because we changed the future, they built a shrine to her and Robo. So now Robo, even though he existed in 2300 AD, now existed in 600 AD. God, we are really screwing with time in this game right now. Like I said, this is one of like 3 times in the actual game where time travel actually affects the main plot.
God damn, everything's so expensive.
Yeah, you probably want to buy Vigil helms for everyone, because those are like the 3rd best helmets in the game.
Obviously. Oh god, he's sort of dead. Not technically, though.
He's really rusted and moldy, though.
Sounds about right.
This also makes me question, Lucca, you're from 1000 AD, you shouldn't know how to fix these things. Technology is not supposed to have this kind of technology is not supposed to exist for 1,000 years.
Is it? Oh god, no, wait, I'm alive. What?
It's funny, like, it's weird how you get just whoever's in lead of the party just kind of comes off as awkward. Like if you have Magus there, it's like, oh Magus, nice to see you, even though you're kind of a prick. And I beat the shit out of you. Twice.
It's like my joints are fucked. I can barely move. Hell, I can barely even talk. But hey, yeah, okay.
Fix me. This is also when the game gets really philosophical for about a minute.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to stay quiet for this because it's pretty interesting stuff. Bullshit.
God damn it. I was waiting for you to bring that up. No, but it's like, this is like the only time in the entire game where they flat out reference, man, what happens when we die? I wonder if there's actually a god in this world. It's like, really, game?
Like, if there's like, is there an entity that's causing that's actually letting us go through time to maybe fix...
But it's...
To fix any wrongs and whatnot?
And like right here, like... It's like a subtle fourth wall break. It's like clearly the game is flat out referencing the player at this point by calling the player God, and it's like, man, that's kind of messed up. It's like, are you talking about God? Are you talking about the player? Are you saying both? But then this is when things get really screwed up, like, as you said, like, hey, Lucca, is there a place and time you want to revisit? No, not really. No.
No, it's like,
no,
pause. It's like, pause. No.
Oh, this part can be really depressing, too, if you fuck this up.
Oh, especially if you fuck it up.
So, for some inexplicable reason, there's a gate that just appears here now. And... this is finally getting the last bit of backstory for Lucca. If you remember, although I don't think I ever brought it up, Lucca's mother is crippled because of an accident that happened. Now we're going to figure out what caused that accident in the first place.
It's like, I hate science. Oh, how your life will change in a matter of moments.
Oh, you have plenty of time to do this.
The name of my lovely wife. So, square something and something or other? No, I'm kidding.
Circle is the A button. Square. Circle is the A button.
And again,
X is the B button.
Again, kind of like with what happened before, like when we were going through the factory back when we were first in 2300 AD. This is like one of the more awkward parts of translating a game from the Super Nintendo to the PlayStation. Because I mean, like, sure, you can see like the LARA, but then since A is technically like I think the circle button on the PlayStation controller, so it's technically supposed to be Loro.
And it's also L1 R1, not L2 R. Like you could hit
enter the password. I don't know it, mommy.
But I don't know. This is different. Like, and you have time, but it's like I think you have a minute to do it.
And if you don't do it, you just crippled your own mother.
Again. I actually don't know what happens if you don't do it. I think you still get
I've seen it. It's pretty fucking depressing. Like if you fail it, or like not like if you fail it immediately it happens, but like if you don't do it in time, you just hear like this one scream, and then it cuts to this part in the room, like where Luke is just like laying on the bed, like, oh fuck, I did it again.
Yeah, but what I mean is, I think I don't know if you don't get the item for if you fail it or not.
That I can't really tell you. I didn't really pay attention to that part.
I don't remember. I assume you don't, because why would they reward you for fucking up? I mean, it'd be nice.
I like how Robo's creeping. He's just like, hello.
It's like, oh, yeah. By the way, I'm the one that told you that was there. You're welcome. You're welcome that I saved your mom's life.
No, I'd be cracking up if he was just all like, sorry about your mom. Here you go.
So basically, you get the green dream, which revives you from death one time and then it disappears. Not really worth it, but hey.
Maybe just use it on the final boss, because fuck it, I don't care.
I don't know, I never used it.
Yeah, and that's the only way I can actually see it being of use, just on the final boss, because you're not going to play the game again after that, unless you're going for all the endings.
Yeah, in which case by then, like, by the time I actually go to Lavos, I'm probably going to be around level 60.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, with that, that's one of the side quests. That's another side quest down. And I believe in the next part, we're going to be doing Frog's side quest. So look forward to that.
Yes, indeed.